How's it going, guys? I'm gonna give my hot take on the changes they're doing to the trials. It's identical to the changes they did to Scourges, but I think it's awful for a couple reasons, which we're gonna detail in this video. We're gonna do show some math, show some projections of what we can look forward to here, and I don't think it's good. I know I was very outspoken about the Scourges being good. For the trials, it's a lot different for different reasons. And then we're going to talk about the most abusive trash orb in the game they've ever released, and we're going to open some of them to show the worst case scenario, which is actually the more common scenario ever. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoy this video. Before we jump into all the salt, though, let's get some sweetness from our sponsors, Into the AM.
I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Into the AM. Now, Into the AM was the first ever sponsor of this channel, and since their clothing just touched my skin, I've wanted to wear nothing else but Into the AM. If you watch me on stream or in my videos, I'm always wearing Into the AM. If you catch me on the streets or visiting my in-laws, I'm wearing Into the AM because it impresses them. The fit, the comfort, the design quality, bar none, the best. These sweaters hold up in Canadian winters. So comfortable. And my kid, when I'm rocking the baby on the shoulder, oh, he snuggles, he's sleeping, he's loving it. And you're gonna love it too, because right now, for their 12th year anniversary, they're doing a 25% off site-wide sale, but they're gonna up the ante. You use code DORKY, you'll get an additional 10% off for 35% off everything. If you haven't tried Into the AM yet, you're gonna want it. Once you do, message me how you like it, because I've gotten so many glowing reviews from those on the channel who have tried them out. You're missing out if you don't, honestly. So what I want to do quickly is show some of the new products that they have and just some of the options you can expect to find on the website. So graphic tees, this is kind of my bread and butter. This is what I love. I love the designs, as you can see. And they got something from everybody from scenery to just serenity to the abstract to the mythological. I wear it all. You're going to wear it all. You're going to love it once it touches you. Like, normally graphic t-shirts, they have this uncomfortable feeling on the graphic on your chest. You don't feel that at all. It feels like I'm just wearing a cloud right now. It's awesome. And it's warm too. But if you don't want designs, then they also have plain t-shirts for you. They got flannel. And like I was talking about earlier, I will never get another hoodie. These are the hoodies for me. Into the AM hoodies are the thing for me now. They'll be the thing for you too. Go ahead and check out Into the AM right now for 25% off site-wide, plus 10% for using code DORKY. Using code DORKY does support the channel, so make sure you do that. I'm going to leave you with their catchphrase because I think it's beautiful. Stay inspired.
All right, here we are. Before we jump into the trial information, just a quick shout out to the Raid and War Season rewards. So this is going to be the last season we're going to get Diamond character in the Raid Season rewards. It's going to be Taskmaster. I think this is a big step down for the characters we've gotten, like Cyclops, Weaver, Vulture, who are key makers in teams. Weaver's obviously the star of her team, but like Vulture, he's a key maker next to Goblin, who's the main star, and then Cyclops, he's a key maker next to a character like Forge, who brings characters back. So those characters made sense. It was a nice, exciting thing to do in the raid seasons. Now we're getting Taskmaster. It's a little less exciting. I think this is just to directly counter Extreme in War, because the Underworld team does do that. But it sucks to see it leave the raid season. Fortunately, it's going to be going into the War season. It's going to contain a specific character diamond for at least 2 seasons. Some people thought this meant it would be the exact same character for 2 seasons in a row. That's not the case. I do have confirmation it's going to be a different character for each War season, and it's going to be at least 2. Now, my concern is, first of all, the quality of the character. Hopefully, we get a better character next. Maybe like, we already have a Spear 6. Maybe we can get like a Photon or something in the next one. Somebody that's really good, farmable, that kind of thing. But the words "at least" and "for now" kind of give me a little bit of concern. I'm worried that they're going to be not doing the diamond characters in the ranked rewards anymore for raids and war. I thought those were just really, really good carrots to chase. Like, that was beneficial to making people want to raid hard, making people want to war hard. They wanted those diamonds on those really fun characters. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we will get those back. Yeah, it just made the raid season rewards a lot more fun to go for. But let's get to the meat of this video. Bi-weekly trial runs. The designer at Legendary Events has the intention of players building certain characters. They give the game away here, right? They want you to have to build these teams. Or teams in participating in an event to unlock a really powerful legendary character. After the current run of Green Goblin Classic Trial, all trials will follow a similar schedule to the current Scourges. If you don't know the current Scourge schedule, because you already had all your horses into 7 Yellow Star, let me break it down for you. There is now a 14-day cycle. 7 days, all 4 of the Scourges are available. You can do any of those 4 Scourges whenever you want, but there's no ranked awards anymore, and the milestones don't reset. So you have to hit a minimum of, I believe it's 1.5 million to get these 7 stars on Morgan Le Fay, Red Hulk, Rogue, and Deathseed, Archangel. Now, I actually like this change for a couple reasons. I felt there was more agency in the time frame. Like, I was always asked, hey, when's Archangel coming back? When's Red Hulk coming back? Now it's, when's Goblin coming back? When's Black Cat coming back? So from that standpoint, I like the fact that it's a set schedule. Players know when it's going to come. They can build for that time. But the Scourges had a benefit that the Trials don't. So that's the news. The 4 Scourges are going to run for 7 days, then they're going to shut down. Then the 3 Trials are going to run. You can run any or all of the Trials during those 7 days, and they shut down, and it rinse and repeats over and over again. So the downside to the Trials that the Scourges didn't have is that, and they've been preparing for this. They did this very calculated. We were surprised when we saw the first Nova trial that they were used for 3 nodes. Masters of Evil used for 3 nodes. Same with Quicksilver and X Factor. And the first node is node number 2. Now, the reason I think that this was done intentional and to prepare for this exact moment is because to get the Horseman, you could only do the first 4 nodes, difficulty 10, and with the different power functions that have happened, you would be able to just wait it out, let those characters take the time to get there, and then you could bring in like level 95 teams, walk over a global section, a mutant section, those kinds of very open tags. But now, for Nowhere, you have to use Master of Evil on Node 2, you have to use Nowhere or Sinister Six on Node 2 for the Black Cat, and for Green Goblin, you have to use Rebirth. Now, this is the most egregious example, but my point is they're taking away a complete way that players were able to say, I don't want to build up those old teams, because those teams, they don't have value in the mode that I like to play, or they're just outdated right now, like Rebirth. Hive Mind's in the game now, so Rebirth is garbage, right? At least most of their members are garbage. So I thought that this was a really scummy way to take away that method for players to bypass what I consider old expansions. When I look at this game, I think of it in terms of expansions. Like, I don't think Blue Gear should be the bottleneck it is now for mid-game players. I think that's stupid. And I don't think a legendary character to a player who's going to start playing the game or who's going to reach the end game, 6, 7, 8 months from now, I don't think they should have to do the same nonsense that we had to do, which would be to build Rebirth. Maybe Master of Evil aren't going to be that good in Crucible anymore, and maybe Superior 6 is going to fall off. I doubt that's the case. I think the Black Cat trial in general is fine the way it's going to be because Sinister 6 is so good. But if Sinister 6 didn't get that rework and it was just Nowhere, that would be the worst, right? Because Nowhere team is garbage. So the fact that they took that away, I think, really sucks. And then I started doing some digging, and some people from Twitch chat and the YouTube comments were letting me know what they were getting per run. Because another thing that I think the Scourges exemplified is the time frame you needed to go from unlock to max star. You weren't getting the same amount of shards as we're getting from these trials. So from like the average Morgan Le Fay person who just didn't want to build up Web Warriors, they were just doing 4 nodes, whatever, they were getting like 200 shards per time. You need 810 shards to max the character out, and so you only had to a year. It took a year, right? If Morgan Le Fay ran every 3 months, which it kind of ran more often than that, but on average, the trials right now, they're going every 3 months. So if that happened, it would take a year to get Morgan Le Fay maxed out. So in my mind, it was like, okay, well, a player can reach level 95 within a year anyway, and then they can just not build Web Warriors, and it's fine. They could just do the 4 node method, right? Under the current system, a friend, Jutsi, he didn't have to build up New Avengers at all. He did difficulty 7. He got 1.1 million points just by not building up New Avengers whatsoever. And by doing that, so for 1.1 million, he made it all the way to milestone 39, so he got 20. He only didn't get these last 25 shards, which means from the milestones alone, he was getting 155 Green Goblin shards. And then when it comes to the ranked rewards, pretend these bonus things aren't here right now because they're not supposed to be, but he was able to get a 5-star with a couple shards of a couple extra shards towards a 6-star character. And now that he's done the second run, he's looking at 200 more shards to get the 7-star. So then on the next Green Goblin run, with doing 155 shards plus 1 to 3% would be another 190 shards, he would have it done. So it wouldn't take him a year to max the character out. It would take him 6 months. And so when I do the math in my head as to what a player's going to have to do to build up a team to the point where they can do difficulty 8 it stops making sense. So if we go in on difficulty 8, even on my baby account, I can survive if I go in with Vulture. We'll see the size of the enemy characters. Now, I already know it, so let me spoil alert while this loads in. It's gear tier 16, level 90. So this is a much bigger investment in 6 red stars. This is a much bigger investment than was the Scourges. Now, we are getting new progressions put into the game. We're getting level 100. We're getting gear tier 19. But again, this just exemplifies the awfulness of putting that node 2 where it is. I don't want to have to be pigeonholed into putting, you know, a gear tier 19 piece on my Agent Venom to get through the second node here on the Rebirth. You know, I could leave the rest of my Rebirth smaller, but I could bring Agent Venom up to level 100, put some red gear on them, or whatever the heck they're going to, Crimson gear, whatever they're going to call it. That's not okay. And because the trials are as new as they are, I'm concerned they're not going to want to put new traits on it. But this is where the silver lining comes in. This trial change can be as good as the Scourge change was if they add new traits. And I think they have the perfect traits to add right now that would make people at least happy for now. And then 6 months from now, they got to go in and trade those and change those traits again. So they added a bunch to the Last Horseman ones. I think what they need to do now is to the Nova trial, where it's Masters of Evil, Quicksilver, both good teams, right? Right now, if you like Crucible. And then X Factor, which is garbage. Unless they have an X Factor rework coming around the corner where they're going to release Havoc or something like that, they need to put another tag on there. And Extreme X-Men is the obvious go-to. You want to face off against the Double Gambit, you get to use your Gambit with your Forge. Have fun. It's actually going to be fun to do that, right? So I think they definitely need to add another tag there. It should be the Extreme team. We talked briefly about the Black Cat. I don't know if it was in this recording or a different recording, but the Black Cat is kind of perfect the way it is. The Nowhere team, no one wants to build that up, but the Superior 6 team is good in so many modes that it makes sense that you can just leave that as Superior 6, Sinister 6. You don't even need Green Goblin to get through it with the new Superior 6 characters. So you can leave that one the way it is. And then it comes down to this this Green Goblin trial with the Rebirth. They have two things they can do. Look, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but they could just go back on what they originally did. The scummiest move they did was making it so you needed to build up both of these teams. The Green Goblin is the pinnacle of garbage for this particular change. Thank you for the sub, Ceci. If they would allow you to use New Avengers on all 3 nodes, that's a pretty good compromise, because New Avengers are a very strong war team. War teams have the longest life. They'll be good for another year and a half, if not 2 years. That's acceptable. Or they can add whatever the next trait is, or they can add Hive Mind in there, or they can add something that addresses the speed issue. Maybe they can give you, like, Tangled Web can go in there or something. You can try and get charges up. Whatever the case may be, they need to add another meaningful tag to the Rebirth node. And if they're going to just do it to the Rebirth node, that doesn't work either. You got to also do it to the New Avengers node. You got to give people one team to build for this that makes sense in the current landscape of the game. Rebirth ain't it. Masters of Evil is not going to be it for a lot of players. And I think the Black Hat one is fine. Anyway, that's my big issue with this change. And it's the fact that you can't do the highest difficulty 5 nodes without having to build a very specific team. That is my biggest issue with this. The entire agency was taken away from players, and I think that's garbage. And the fact that you got to do difficulty 8 to get to 1.3, 1.5 million, which we're guessing is going to be the benchmark for 7 yellow stars, means you're going to have to build up 2 teams in the case of Green Goblin. Not good. Not good at all. Anyway, let me know what you guys feel in the comment section below about this change. At first, I was really warm to it. It's like, oh, well, every 2 weeks, you know, we get to decide when we want to build up our teams for that. We know it's coming. No more when is Green Goblin coming. We know it's coming. But it doesn't matter if we know it's coming if we're gated into building Rebirth. We have to build Rebirth. That's garbage. All right, let's go talk about a thing I'm even more impassionately furious about, which is these garbage orbs. Let's go talk about that. All right, that was long. All right, and here we are at what is, in my opinion, the scummiest orb ever put in the game. I mean, the scummiest set of orbs ever put in the game, in my opinion. And it's the Elite 4 credit orb, the Elite 5 credit orb, the Elite 6 credit orb. They package this as a way for you to get dark promos when there's not a double dark promo thing. And when you break this down mathematically, and you just show an example, you can see how bad it is. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to open up one of the Elite 4 credit orbs, then we're going to go open up 10 Red Star orbs, which is the equivalent. And let's just talk about the reality behind the situation, because if you are the kind of player rather, who has everyone at 7 red stars, so the only thing you really get from the orbs right now is those dark promos and those E4s that turn to E5s, that turn to E6s. Well, let's talk about it, okay? So the min drop rate, the max drop rate, and the middle drop rate, you have an 80% chance of getting 100, which is the minimum drop across the board. 15% chance of getting 300 and a 5% chance of pulling 500. If you pull the 500, obviously you are super far ahead, but a 5% chance, so I'm going to pull one here, and you might be surprised what I'm going to get. Would you be surprised? With an 80% lion share? Here we go. Would you look at that? Not only did we get the minimum drop rate for the dark promos, but we also got the minimum drop rate for the Elite Fours. Because if you look at the ups and downs for the Elite Fours, it is a 66% chance that you get this 2K pull. It is a 23.5% chance that you get 4,500. And it is a 9% chance that you get 9,500. Keep those statistics in mind. Now let's go open up 10 regular red star orbs. All right, let's see the comparison just on this one small sample. So we get the minimum there. We get the minimum there. We're getting lots of minimums. Maybe it's not so bad. Ooh, right away we now have more Elite Four credits than we otherwise would have. All right, minimum there. Ooh, that's a 5-star. Ooh, that's a big hit on the Elite Four part. All right, we open up another one. Ooh, right away our DPCs are now higher. We open up another one. Ooh, more Elite Fours. All right, that's still bare minimum on that one. Oof, that's going to hurt us on the Elite Fours. And there you go. 7,300 Elite Fours versus 2,500. So I got, what is that, 4,800 more Elite Fours just by opening them manually. And I only got 20 more Dark Promotion credits from opening them manually. But in there lies the issue. All these orbs are, if you look at the percentage drop rate on the Dark Promos and the regular star orbs and the Dark Promos in this Elite Four orb, they're identical. There's an 80% chance to get 10. There's a 15% chance to get 30. There's a 5% chance to get 50. This orb was so lazily made, and it taxes you. You can win big. Don't get me wrong. You can win big. You can get a crazy amount of Elite Fours. You can get a crazy amount of Dark Promos for the cost of it. If you're crazy lucky. This is just putting more money into the slot machine and getting lucky on the pull. But with the same odds as a regular person, there's going to be outliers. Oh, I got the max pull. I'm going to go post it on Reddit. I'm going to put it in the Discord. Look at me. The house always wins. That's the saying. The house always wins. The more you gamble, the more the house wins. Casinos exist as they do for a reason. The house always wins. You are so much better off opening your regular orbs one at a time. This is the final statement I want to make on this. Why don't they just have an open times 10 option, which would give you the exact same thing this orb does, the exact same chances this orb gives you for Dark Promos, and a little bit different for the Elite Fours, but not enough. The exact same chances it gives you for Dark Promos, but it would hit it 10 times instead of 1. It's because the house always wins. This orb is a scam. It's meant for super lazy, crackeny people. I don't know what else to say. It's a scam. If you want to min-max this game, which I know 99% of people who try and be competitive in this game, they are min-maxing the game. They're not just throwing money at it. And the people that are throwing money at it, they don't care about these Dark Promos. They buy the Dark Promos. They get them in the passes. They get them in the offers just adjacent to whatever else they're buying. They're getting diamonds in the offers as well. They don't care about this crap. That's why people like... I'm not going to name names. People at the very top, they had like 50 Elite 7s ready to go because they don't need this crap. They don't. This is for us. This is for the try-hard, really engaged players. This is how they get you on the gambling front. This orb is trash. Don't open the Elite 4 credit orb.
open your regular star orbs, set aside 5 minutes, have some fun, open up 100 at a time, wait till the extra drop rate on DPCs is there. Don't fall for this crap. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. And as always, stay happy, healthy, have fun. I'll see you guys in the next video.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.